Calibrating cybernetics.
Talk to him now.
AT, Andre.
Come on, Dre.
Yep. Trippin with Let's Go. Woo! Trippin with Theobold.
What's your name?
Theo so bold.
Yeah.
Driggity. Let's go. Trippin with Theobold. Trippin.
What are we doing?
Trippin with Theobold.
Come on, Dre.
Let's see. Mic check. 1, 2. We on. Mic check. 1, 2. Are we on? Mic check. 1, 2. Let me just make sure I am on. Let's see. Mic check. 1, 2. Am I on? And we are good. Hey, what's going on, y'all? And welcome to the 87th episode of Trippin with Theobold. Something happened to my earbuds while I was saying that. So, welcome to the 87th episode of Trippin with Theobold. I'm your host, Andre Theobold, and welcome. We're going to get into where I'm at in a second. But before I go any further, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tell a friend to tell a friend, and do all that fun internet stuff like the old people say. So it's going to be a pretty quick episode today. I got a flight to catch. So we're going to go ahead and get right into it. So boop. As you guys know, I am a Buffalo Bills fan, and oh man, yeah, we're going to talk about these damn Bills today too. So since you know, I like to, you guys know I like to always tag an episode or tag the episode number with a Buffalo Bill with the same jersey number of past or present. And today, number 87, I ain't got nobody. Right, the only Buffalo Bill I knew that wore 87 was Jordan Matthews, and he wasn't really a Buffalo Bill. I mean, face it, he came from the Eagles. I think he played part of a season with the Bills, man. So today's gonna be an off day for number 87. So if we have any rookies out there that's trying to make their name known, that want to come to our team, play, grab number 87 and make it known. Because right now we have no one at number 87. Okay, so what else we got going on here? Let me go ahead and plug up into this joint because we are going to keep things going. Pardon the noise. Yeah. I gotta plug in. Second, here we go. Got that. Okay. All these moving pieces and moving parts. Here we go. Let me go ahead and pull this up so we can get into the tongue twisties. You know, we gotta do the tongue twisties. That's what we do. You know, so I can get that brain tongue coordination going. You know, so there'll be less trippage on Trippin with Theobold. You know, like I said, we trip, but we're not gonna trip all the time, but we're gonna trip from here and there, you know. Let me go ahead and put this up right quick. Go. Man. Album. There we go. Number 7. Ooh. And now let me go ahead and pull up my iPhone so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Okay, here we go. So transitioning. So today is the 16th of June. So, you know, we're going to do tongue twisties that start with the letter P. So you can read along with me, or you can listen to or watch me struggle, depending on what platform you're watching this on. So here we go. Let's go ahead and do this. Boom. Okay. Number 1. Peter poked a poker at the piper, so the piper poked pepper at Peter. Peter poked a poker at the piper, so piper poked pepper at Peter. Peter poked a poker at the piper, so the piper poked pepper at Peter. Paul, please pause for proper applause. I said plopper. Paul, please pause for proper applause. Paul, please pause for proper applause. Number 3. Please prune plum trees promptly. Please prune plum trees promptly. Please prune plum trees promptly. Picky pickpockets pick pickpockets. Picky pickpockets pick pickpockets. I got that one on pretty good with that one. Picky pickpockets pick pickpockets. Last one. Please prepare the prepared pears pair near. Oh hell, damn. Please prepare the paired pears near the unprepared pears near the pool. Please prepare the paired pears near the unprepared pears near the pool. Please prepare the paired pears near the unprepared pears near the pool. So yay, we got that tongue twisty out the way. That's good. Now tongue twisties are done. So slight promo right quick, slight promo. So the reason why I'm like hustling up for today's episode is I have a flight to catch to get back to Maryland. And then on Sunday, I am going to Europe for the first time, going to the UK. I'm going all over Europe, man. Gonna go and let me just pull this up so y'all can see what I'm talking about. I am going on the Stephen Ambrose 6888 Legacy Tour. So yeah, they were the only African American WAC unit of World War II. My grandma was in the 6888, so I am going over to Europe to track her footsteps to see exactly where she landed when she began her service, and we're going to track through. So we got 5 stops. We're going to be in Glasgow, Scotland on Monday. Then after that, we're going to be in Birmingham, England. Then we're going to spend a day or two in London. And after that, we're going to go to Rouen. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Rouen, Paris. I got to learn how to pronounce that before I go over there. And then I'm going to Paris, and then I'm coming back. So I'm going to have so when I come back in 2 weeks, I'll be gone for like 13 days. When I come back, we are going to do a special episode for the 6888 tour, and I'm going to have all my pictures and photos, and yeah, it's going to be dope. So make sure y'all tune into that. What else we got going on here? Did that. And then let's go ahead and real quick, I'm not too happy about these damn bills right now. If you guys are following the news or following sports news, you know my damn bills are in trouble. All right, these niggas in trouble, and I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer, but it is what it is, man. We in trouble. All right, so if you're looking at my screen right now, as you guys can see, I have the Madden 24 cover up. And who else is on the Madden 24 cover but Mr. Josh Allen himself? Yeah, so I was trying to tell motherfuckers, man, leave the Madden. The Madden curse is real. And the shit is already starting. Right? Stephon Diggs had some issues with practice, or had some issue with the coach. He came to training camp, walked out. They said everything's fine. McDermott said he's concerned. Now all of a sudden everything is all good and hunky-dory. Now there's speculation with respect to Ken Dorsey and his relationship with Stephon Diggs. So Bills Mafia, Bills fan, I'm here to tell y'all it's gonna be a long season. It's gonna be a long season. We gonna stink this season up. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. We gonna stink this season up. All right. My prediction, my Theobold prediction is Bills are going to finish under 800. We're going to probably finish last in the AFC East. We're going to probably be under 500. So I think the real victory for this year is to come through the year with no injuries, right? If we can just stay injury free and trade Gabe Davis. I love big game Dave. I said big game Gabe Davis. I said big game Gabe Davis. I'm a big damn it, I can't say his name. I'm a big Gabe Davis fan. All right, Gabe Davis is a beast, but that's why we got Dalton Kincaid. Dalton Kincaid, if you really watch how he plays similar to Gabe Davis. Gabe Davis is in a contract year, so we need to hurry up and trade him now and get some parts. That's how I think, right? If you want to win championships, you have to be able to part ways with parts. All right, I'm just telling you like it is. All right, so take it or leave it. But this year for the Bills, my prediction is going to be a shitty season. We're gonna finish under 500. And then next season, though, here's the optimism, right? Here's where the optimism comes into play. Next season, we're gonna come out with we're gonna come back with the red helmets. Yeah, we coming back with the red helmets next season, and that's when we're gonna win the Super Bowl. You heard it here first on Trippin with Theobold. 6/16/23. You heard it here first. All right, cool. Enough of that. Now, changing topics, and this is something that's a little might ruffle some feathers, but we're gonna talk about it. No, but we're gonna talk about it regardless. So here's let me take a sip of my tea. So let's go ahead and just get into it, right? So let's go and talk about Mrs. Ayesha Curry. She done made the media again, made headlines again. All right, so I'm not gonna spend too much time on this, man, because other people's marriages are not my business. But since it's out in the open, I gotta talk about it. So if you guys don't know, I think Ayesha Curry was on The View or something like that, and they had a let me see, what did they have? They had basically had like a server that was like a stripper or something, black dude, and he had like a shirt off, came in and was bringing him food or whatever. And Ayesha Curry got silly and pretended as if she was going to take off her wedding ring. So in Twitter world, you're seeing people go back and forth, they're arguing and all this, that, and the third. Here's my thoughts on that. Right, I have a couple of thoughts on that. My first thought is, so from a scriptural standpoint, like, I think both parties are wrong, right? But from a earthly human standpoint, Ayesha Curry was dead wrong. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people, like, a lot of people are going to say, a lot of women in particular are going to say, oh, it wasn't a big deal. She's just having fun. I don't see what the harm was. You need to relax. And, oh, you're so uptight. And let me tell you something, right? If Steph Curry, remember that time when Steph Curry was in the playoffs and there was that one Instagram thought trap or thirst trap? I don't know what these little young people were calling them, but she was like a little thirst trap or whatever. And she was always giving Steph Curry the eye in the game. Steph Curry, from what I've seen, or what he has shown me, is that he's a class act dude. He didn't wink back. He didn't do nothing to flirt back. And if he did flirt back, the media would be in an uproar and they would be trying to say that Steph Curry's a piece of shit and he's not this and not that. And, but when Ayesha Curry does something like this, it's cute, it's fun, it's, oh, you guys are overreacting, right? So here's why, in my opinion, why, Ayesha Curry's actions were were childlike and disrespectful. All right. So women have the luxury, or they have the privilege, of not having to do shit but wait on a man to propose to them. That's all they got to do is wait. Because in their precious little minds, they're perfect already, and we guys got to get our shit together so we can step up to them to propose to them, right? That's just how society is. So a man has to do three things, right? Three huge things before he marries a chick, right? Number one, he has to be honest with himself and look around him and say, nose itching. Sorry, mom, nose itch. He has to look around at everything he has and say, you know what? Am I cool with, if this situation doesn't work out, am I cool with losing everything? Am I cool with losing it all? Right? That's the first thing a man has to do before he gets married to a chick. And he has to be cool with losing everything because he's so in love with this chick. And two, he has to then go to the father and then get the blessing of the father to marry the daughter. You don't know how marriages are supposed to work from traditional or from a respect standpoint, but those are two things. And then the third thing a dude has to do, he has to then go buy the ring, right? Which means he has to either finance the ring, he has to do whatever, he has to buy the ring, right? Which means he can put himself in debt. Anyways, men have to do those three things before they are married to a chick, right? So if a man has to do all that and a woman is out there joking like she's going to take off her ring because another attractive man walks in the room, that's a slap in the face of that man's effort, you know? No matter how famous, no matter the status of the man or whatever it is, that's tasteless. That's tactless. Like I would not, me personally, I would not want to be married to a woman like Ayesha Curry. Like to me, she is not wifey material from what I've seen, right? Now, there's been rumors on the internet that they're into the swing life or whatever it is. I don't know. I don't really keep up with them like that. I'm just speaking on what has been presented to me. All right. So if I were in Steph Curry's shoes with my current mindset right now and how I think and how I go about everyday life, I would be like, you know what? I would tell my wife, like, you know what? You got to go and make a public apology. Yes, you got to go out and publicly make an apology because that act brought shame to the marriage, right? And I didn't sign up for something to have somebody shame on it or to shame it. So in order to protect it, it's not about me. It's about what we're representing. You got to get out. You got to make a public apology, right? And furthermore, those actions basically, those actions are being set in stone for her kids to see. So if that's what she's about, even if she's playing, her kids might think that's cute. And now you basically have damaged your kids growing up. You know what I'm saying? Marriage is very serious, man. Marriage is people see the problem in this country, man. People fuck around with marriage too much, man. Like they don't look at the real shit, but they want to play with the bullshit, you know? Pardon my language. But you know, it is what it is. But I'll be like, look, you gotta make a public apology. And if you got a problem with that, I'll be like, you know what? I'm gonna pack my shit and I'm gonna separate. I'm gonna go and live somewhere else until you're ready to apologize. Because I'm not gonna live in a house where shame is being brought upon me and I cannot check the shame that has been brought to me in the house that we live in. All right, so that's that. I don't really want to get hung up on that. Leave your comments and thoughts down in the comment section below and we can talk about them. Maybe I should do a deeper episode on this. I'm kind of just like, you know, skimming over all the stuff that's happened this week. Been a pretty busy week. But anyways, that's that. And as y'all know, I'm not even going to get into to Anita Baker right now because that's gonna just waste more time. Yeah, y'all know what's going on with Anita Baker. I'm not even gonna go ahead and pull that up. Let me see. There we go. That part. Hey, what's up, babe? Guess my babe, you know, she's checking in on me right quick on the chat. You know, I gotta say what's up, babe. What's up, babe? How you doing? Make sure I say what's up back. You know, yeah, thanks for tuning in, man. Come on, Dre. That one kind of slipped up a little bit, you know. Anywho, let me go ahead and just get into what I really want to talk about because I only have like 20 minutes, and I want to make sure I really go in on it, you know. So, here we go. So, Transformers: Rise of the Beasts. All right, so if you consider yourself a Transformers fan, and if you can see this screen with me talking on it, what is this behind me? What is this behind me? Right? If you don't know what this is behind me, probably not a real Transformers fan. Sorry, I'm not trying to be an asshole, but what's behind me? Or better yet, who is behind me? Well, it's time to educate, okay? This is Teletran 1 behind me, right? If you know anything about the Transformers cartoon, you know Teletran 1 is the computer base where Optimus Prime gets all his information from to go plan out missions to go and battle with the Decepticons and stuff, right? So this is a robot behind us, right? Teletran 1 is a vital part of the Transformers universe, all right? So why am I bringing this up, right? So if you like the Transformers Rise of the Beast movie, cool. It was entertaining if you're not a Transformers fan, but if you're a Transformers fan, this movie was some bullshit. So let me go ahead and list out what was wrong with this movie. All right. Number one, it was produced by Michael Bay, directed or produced, whatever. Michael Bay needs to leave Transformers alone, man. Every time he makes a movie, I just hope that it just dies off for like 10 years and then they just reboot it. Now, Bumblebee was probably the best Transformers live action film that has come out to date. Right? Bumblebee was pretty dope. It was okay. I'm not gonna say dope. It was okay. But main problem with or in no particular order, the problem I had with Transformers Rise of the Beast was there was too much mixing, right? There was too much surface level mixing of all the Transformer types, right? Like, you know anything about Transformers, you got G1 Transformers, you got G2 Transformers, then you got Beast Wars, and you got Headmasters, right? So you got all these different types of Transformers and the progression of the Transformers timeline. And they just basically are going, that's cute. So they basically were just taking little pieces of each one and throwing it in a movie and trying to make it make sense, right? That was my biggest issue, right? Because to me, Transformers was supposed to be the next Star Wars, right? Transformers could have been that big. Like, if I would have done it, I would have said, I would have started off with a basic Transformers movie, basic war between the Autobots and the Decepticons, had a no-name actor in there, right? But make sure that it's centered around the Transformers. And then the second one, I would have did something like, Attack of the Insecticons, right? Because the Insecticons, are a vital part of the Decepticon universe. And then I would have done, then you could have done like Rise of the Dinobots, like Rise of the Dinobots. So they could have built in progression with each of the Transformers, right? Then just kept getting bigger and better, right? So then you got, Dinobots. Then you could have went with some combiners where you went with Devastator was the big one that they're going to add on. Then they could have went from Devastator to the Aerial Bots, because the Aerial Bots are also a combining Transformer that would have fought against Devastator. But in Transformers, man, they have like at least like 4 or 5 combiners, right? But they only had to do 2, but they did 1 and they fucked that up. Then they could have went to the buildings, right? Like you got Metroplex and Trypticon. Like those are like big like battle stations that transform into like fighting robots. Then they could have went with like Unicron, finally with Unicron, right? So they could have like went and progressed it over time, and it could have just got bigger and bigger and better. And people could have been like, man, how are they gonna keep? Because what you want to do is you want to introduce a new Transformer or introduce a new Transformer race, maybe like 4, maybe introduce like 3 of them, and then kill one off. So that way you have 2 left over for the next movie. So you can always keep progressing, That's what they could have done, right? What else was wrong? So I said it's too much mixing, too much surface level mixing, not enough progression, or no progression at all. And here's this one like big flaw, man. Like, if you know anything about the 1986 Transformers, the movie, which was the cartoon, which is in my top 5, by the way. And before we go any further, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tell a friend to tell a friend, do all that fun internet stuff like the old people say. But if you know anything about the 1986 Transformers, the movie, cartoon movie that came out back in '86, Optimus Prime does not know about Unicron. He's unaware of Unicron. He dies before he's unaware. That doesn't make any sense. He dies before he even knows who Unicron is. So he dies. So in the movie, planets are just being eaten up. Then they have this big Autobot Decepticon battle. Prime defeats Megatron, but dies in the process. Right? Then the Matrix of Leadership is passed on to Rodimus Prime unknowingly. And then Ultra Magnus tries to open it because the Matrix of Leadership touches Hot Rod before it touches Ultra Magnus. And then Megatron gets dumped off in space because he's all broken up. Then Unicron finds him and then gives him a makeover and then turns him into Galvatron. Right? And then Galvatron gets like 4 or 5 henchmen, including was it Sturge or whatever his name is, because it's Cyclonus, Sturge, and I forgot the other ones. But they made Sturge, whatever that dude's name is, they made him like the main leader. I'm like, he's not even a 5th rank minion or what? Okay, whatever it is, right? Anyways, in the movie, planets. So basically, long plot is planets are being destroyed. No one knows what's happening to these planets. Autobot Decepticon battle. Prime dies. Then Megatron then finds out about Unicron, and then Unicron is the planet that's eating up all the other planets, and he then gets turned into Galvatron by Unicron, right? So to me, I'm like, in the movie, they had Optimus Prime going up against Unicron. I'm like, he don't even know who Unicron is, man. And man, there's no Teletran 1. Like Teletran 1 could have at least make it like believable within the Transformer universe. Like have Teletran 1 update or inform Optimus Prime on who it just whatever, man. It was yeah. Yeah, I'm over here geeking out, but nah, if you really watch Transformers and know what they missed the ball. They dropped the ball. They left a whole lot of meat on the bone. And trust me, when y'all watch the cartoons, just do yourself a favor. Go home, watch the cartoons, and you will see what I'm talking about. And then the other issue with Transformers was there's no successor, right? Like Peter Cullen, the dude that plays the voice of Optimus Prime, who also played the voice of Eeyore and Winnie the Pooh, he getting old. He getting too old to play Optimus Prime, man. Like they should have been had Hot Rod or like a Hot Rod like person step up. And they could have even made what's the dude that played Mirage in this one? Which I thought was casted well. Pete Davidson. Pete Davidson was a perfect voice for Mirage. But they could have made him Hot Rod. You know what I'm saying? And then had the progression. But it is what it is. Yeah, so they need to just let Transformers just die off, man. Like the actors in the movie were good, but my whole thing is with the movie, they're making the same mistake over and over again. Is they're making it about the people. Like, sorry, fuck the people. Just have someone be a supporting cast for the robots and let them do their thing. Now the way they did Mirage was dope. They had Mirage. That's what he does. He makes illusions and like holograms of different cars and stuff. I like that. But they also made him a triple changer, which didn't make any sense because Mirage is not a triple changer, right? A triple changer is like Astro Train, right? Astro Train can turn into a jet, a train, and like a rocket ship or something like that. He turns into a jet. No, a triple changer changes into 2 things, right? They change into themselves and 2 other things. So Astro Train turns into a rocket ship and a train, right? And and we're leaving out another big Transformer, man. We're leaving out my man Omega Supreme. Omega Supreme, man. That was my dude, man. But whatever. Y'all need to just go watch the cartoons and you will see how much meat they left on the bone. What else did I find wrong with that movie? But yeah, Mirage, and they made him they made him like an infinite changer. Like he could change into whatever you wanted to change into. And it's like, nah, bro, you just transform into a car and a robot, nigga. That's it, Then what else? Transformers. What else am I going? What else did I see wrong with them? yeah, it was a lot of I don't know. Next time they make a Transformer movie, man, they got to consult with me. I'll let them know what they need to do, right, to make this joint a success. Because this shit could have been like the next Star Wars, like I said, for the 5th time. Then what else was that I not like about the movie? Um, oh man, they like in Bumblebee they gave Optimus Prime the caboose, like in the big caboose part that goes on the back of Optimus Prime, and like they don't really like Michael Bay doesn't really fool with the caboose, like that thing has a purpose. It carries around a little drone, Um, yeah, exactly, babe. Yeah, the soundtrack is definitely better than the movie. But hey, when I get back or whenever, we gotta watch Bumblebee. Bumblebee is dope. You will like Bumblebee. Um, the movie Bumblebee. Um, but yeah, I mean, like I said, man, Transformers, man. Um, is what it is, man. I'm not like I said, I'm not a fan of what they're doing. The first one was okay. Um, and then you know what? I'm not even gonna trip on how they did Wheeljack, right? Like Wheeljack, like they gave him some they gave him some type of ethnicity, which is cool. I'm not against that. And they made him a Volkswagen, but they made him like a 1960, 1970s Volkswagen van. That was interesting. That was an interesting choice because in the cartoon, he's like a sports car, or he's like a GT or some kind of sports car. But he's a nerd. He's the one that actually invents or creates the Dinobots, but they didn't even address that in the movie. You know what I mean? So um right now, Michael Bay and the people on Transformers are just cool with seeing things transform and just doing it for the ooh wow effect, but they're not doing anything to really stay true to the cartoon series, and that's what's kind of like, kind of like frustrating. It's like, dude, that like the way they did like the way Michael Bay did Shockwave in whatever movie that was, man. Like the way they did Shockwave was terrible, man. Like it didn't even look like Shockwave. And then the way they did Soundwave was terrible because they got the wrong people playing the wrong voices, man. Like they should have went with I think so they had Peter Cullen play Optimus Prime, the voice of Optimus Prime, how it is. Then Frank Welker typically plays the voice of Megatron. Um but they got Hugo Weaving to play the voice of Megatron in the movie before. And then they had Frank Welker take on the voice of Soundwave, which he normally does, but in the cartoon, Soundwave had 2 voices, right? Like in the beginning, early seasons, that was the Soundwave I wanted to hear. Like that Soundwave is dope, you know what I'm saying? Like it had that. I can't even do the voice, man, but it's what do you say? Um Soundwave inferior sound, like he had like he just go Google it, man, if you don't know what I'm talking about. But Soundwave had like that cool voice back in the old. I wanted them to go with the old. I wanted them to go with the cool old original Soundwave voice, but instead they went with the one that was weird, and they just made all the wrong choices. Transformers, in my opinion, man. So let me go and get off of Transformers. I just wanted to get that out there. Me and my babe saw it last week. She liked it. You know what I'm saying? She had a good time. I'm glad she enjoyed it. But when we work through these cartoons and when we work through Transformers, the movie, the 1986 movie, and Bumblebee, you're gonna be like, oh man, they left out a whole lot. So, hey babe, get ready for that. All right. What else we got going, man? Now let's talk some DFS right quick, man. Real quick, I'm not gonna make any picks, man, because your boy has been shitting the bed, man. I've been stinking it up in DraftKings. What I won, I gave back. So yeah, I'm down to my last dollar. I gotta rethink some shit, but that's okay. That's what happens in life, you know what I'm saying? Get hit in the mouth and you gotta try all over again. So, anyways, let me go and pull this up right quick before I wrap up. Cause like I said, today's gonna be a short episode because I got to get ready to get this flight. Let me go pull my phone back up. Pull the DraftKings back up right quick. Yeah, they didn't mess with the format in Line Star. So here we go. So in Line Star, they now finally they have finally matched the interface that's on the they finally matched the desktop interface, right? So if you go to the desktop version, it looks the same now. But I like my mobile version because my mobile version was simple, right? It was really simple to read. So as you guys can see, they got the purple and the blue dots instead of the green and the blue dots. And then I probably got to turn on the night vision, but the night vision is probably not going to go too well with that purple. When I say night vision, I mean the black background. But yeah, everything now matches the desktop interface, right? Everything now is matching the desktop interface. So I got to play around with this desktop interface to see what I want to see, to look for certain trends. But that's all I wanted to show y'all today. Line Star pulled a fast one on us. I wish that Line Star had like a newsletter or something that said, hey, we're going to be changing up the interface just so y'all know on such and such a date. Like have a release date. Say, hey, look, it's going to be an update to the interface. The one thing I've noticed in DraftKings, right? This is one thing I noticed in DraftKings that very interesting. I'm trying to get answers, but if you look at the DraftKings app, right? When you pick a player, I'm not going to show it because I can just like tell you about it. But if you look at the players, right? In DraftKings, you can sort by fantasy points per game, right? You can sort by fantasy points per game. And that's how I think they give you like 4 options. You can say fantasy points per game from least to greatest and greatest to least, or you can sort on salary from least to greatest and greatest to least, right? So you have 4 options for that. But in Line Star, right? In Line Star, they give you every statistical thing you want, but the fantasy points per game. Like I was searching, I was in the advanced section, like putting together filters, and they don't have that. So there's something with that is all I'm trying to say. Like in the good old days, what I used to do, and I might do it now. Matter of fact, I might go ahead and do it. It's a little bit of work, but I'll go ahead and do it. But I'm gonna do screenshots of each tier, right? So I'm gonna do screenshots of each tier, and I want to see, like, I just want to kind of chart and look at which slot or which rank in the fantasy points per game option is winning which tier. That's what I want to see. That's all I want to see, right? But Line Star is not giving me that. And if I do this, so here's my challenge, right? I can't do it in Europe. Well, I can't do it in Europe because I just can't play DraftKings in Europe. So I'm gonna track it over the next couple of days. I'm gonna give it about a good solid week. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give it 10 days. I'm gonna just do this. I'm just gonna keep track of the tiers and what in the orders or who's winning which tier. And then what I'm gonna do is I am going to just see if I can predict the next tier based on the average or who's winning which ranking of each tier based on fantasy points per game. And if I get hot and if I can win my $200 back for the season, I'm gonna be done with Line Star. Maybe, that's yet to be determined, but I should be, right? If I can win my money back that I paid for Line Star and I'm not using their data, I don't need them, right? So that's the goal for the year, right? I'm trying to get off of Line Star and just doing my own grassroots analysis, if that makes any sense. All right, so that's that. So what's coming up next? So as y'all know, I'm going to Europe on Sunday. So I'll be out of town for roughly 2 weeks. So there'll be no show on the 23rd and there'll be no show on the 30th. So reminder, there'll be no show on the 23rd, no show on the 30th. And when I get back the week of July 2nd, right? The first week in July, I'm not sure what day I'm going to do it on, but the next show I do will be all about Trip. It's going to be all about my trip. I'm going to have photos, videos. I'm going to have a lot of just pictures. So look forward to that. Make sure y'all tune into that when I do that, but I'll definitely give you a heads up. And also, I may have my brother Malcolm Hall on that show. I'm not sure yet. I got to run it by him, but I'm gonna start doing guests, right? I'm gonna start having guests on my show soon. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna do that the first week in July or the second week in July. So coming up, you know, I'm gonna start having guests on my show. First guest will be Malcolm Hall. Yeah. So once again, man, thank y'all for tuning in for Tripping with Theobold to the 80. Thank you for come on, Dre. Thank y'all for tuning in to the 87th episode of Tripping with Theobold. I've been your host. Down below are my socials. Follow me. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tell a friend and tell a friend. Do all that fun internet stuff like the old people say. Safe travels. Thanks, babe. Appreciate you. But without further ado, I'm out of here, folks. Peace. Yep. Tripping with Theobold.
Let's go.
Caliente.
Trippin'. Yep. Trippin'. Trippin'. Trippin' with Theobold.
Tripping with Theobold.